All right, so are you ready to dive into some interview prep today?
Always ready.
Awesome. We've got RoleCatcher's Career Guide and Interview Guide to help us out with this deep dive.
Those are fantastic resources.
Yeah, and today we are focusing on getting you prepped for a prepared meat operator interview.
Sounds delicious.
So let's jump right in. Before we get to those interview questions, though,
Okay.
let's take a look at what this role actually is. You know what a prepared meat operator does on a day-to-day basis?
Sure.
RoleCatcher's Guide lays it all out, and it's pretty interesting stuff.
Yeah, it's not just about handling meat.
Right. Some of these preservation methods they use are like high-tech.
Yeah, they use things like pasteurization and freeze drying
So
and even fermentation. It's a whole science.
you're not just like slicing and dicing. You're like a food safety and quality superhero.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I like that. You're crucial for public health when you think about it.
Totally.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's get to those interview questions.
All right.
RoleCatcher's Guide has some really good ones. Like this one. Can you explain your experience working with different types of prepared meats? So obviously more to this than listing every type of meat you've seen.
Right. You want to show them the depth of your experience. Have
Right.
you worked with different cuts, different processing methods?
Gotcha.
Think about the specific techniques you've used
Right.
and the products you've handled.
So instead of just bacon, I should be saying something like, I operated the smoker for these types of bacon, ensuring they were cured and smoked for the right times.
Yeah, exactly. And don't forget to take career stages into account.
What do you mean?
Well, like an entry-level person might have just assisted with those tasks,
Okay.
whereas someone with more experience would have managed the whole process.
Gotcha. So tailor it to your experience level.
Exactly.
And RoleCatcher's AI can help with that, right?
For sure.
Analyze the job description and suggest what skills to talk about.
Yep. It's like a personal coach.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. This one's about quality control. How do you ensure that the prepared meats meet quality standards? This one kind of makes me nervous. What if I mess up and let a bunch of bad meat slip through?
Uh-huh. No worries. What they really want to know is, do you understand the process?
Okay.
They want to know you're thinking about quality and not just following instructions.
Okay, so, like, what would be a bad answer here?
Something like, oh, I just follow the recipe.
Gotcha.
You want to be more proactive and detail-oriented? Talk about the steps you take.
Oh, okay.
Checking temperatures, inspecting packaging, stuff like that.
So something like, I always double-check the package seal to prevent contamination and keep everything fresh.
Perfect. Now you're showing them the why behind the what.
Gotcha. And that reminds me of FIFO.
Oh, yeah. First in, first out, super important for preventing spoilage.
Right. Use the oldest stuff first so nothing goes bad.
Exactly. It's like your fridge got to eat what's in the back first.
Yeah. Totally. Okay, next up. How do you handle and store raw prepared meats? This seems super important. One wrong move, and you got a food safety disaster.
It is important. You got to show you're serious about preventing contamination here.
Okay.
They want to see you get how serious proper handling and storage are.
So no vague answers.
All right. I keep things cold isn't going to cut it.
Gotcha.
Be specific about temperatures and containers and keeping raw meat separate.
Okay, so like I store raw meats below 40 degrees and use specific containers so there's no cross-contamination.
Exactly. And don't forget personal hygiene,
Oh, yeah.
hand washing gloves, all that.
Right. Food safety basics. All right. Feeling more confident. What's next?
Let's talk equipment. Can you explain your experience using different types of equipment for preparing meats?
Ooh, okay. So here I can talk about grinders, slicers, smokers, all that.
Yep. And remember, tailor the detail to your career stage.
Okay.
If you're just starting out, focus on the basics. If you've got years of experience, you can go deeper.
So a beginner might say, I helped operate the grinder and learned how to clean it.
Uh-huh.
And someone more experienced could talk about fixing equipment problems or even doing some basic maintenance.
Exactly. And RoleCatcher's AI can help figure out which equipment skills to focus on.
Awesome. Okay, this next one is all about flavor. How do you ensure that the prepared meats are properly seasoned and flavored? I'm guessing there's more to it than just, I follow the recipe.
Definitely. While following the recipe is important,
Right.
they want to know if you understand seasoning. Can you adjust based on the ingredients?
Okay,
Do you get how different seasonings affect different meats?
makes sense. So I should highlight that I can adapt.
Yeah.
Maybe give some examples of times I had to adjust the seasoning.
Perfect. You're showing you understand how to create delicious, flavorful products.
No bland bologna for me. All right, what's next?
Let's get logistical. How do you prioritize tasks when working in a fast-paced environment?
Okay, so this is where I talk about how good I am at multitasking.
Kinda, but they're looking for more than that. They want to see that you can make smart decisions under pressure. Can you prioritize tasks based on what's urgent and what's important?
Okay,
Can you stay organized when things are crazy?
got it. So using a task list, communicating with my team,
Yeah.
and always remembering safety and quality.
Exactly. You're showing them you're calm and collected.
Awesome.
Okay, what else?
This one's huge in this industry. Can you explain your experience with food safety regulations and procedures? They're going to want to see that you take this seriously.
This is where I can show off all my HACCP knowledge.
Yeah. HACCP stands for Hazard Analysis and Critical Control Points.
Right.
It's about finding and controlling potential food safety problems
Okay.
throughout the whole process.
So basically, I need to show that I get HACCP and how it applies to my work.
Exactly. Talk about any training you've had, certifications you have, and how you've used HACCP in the past.
Okay, got it. Food safety is no joke. What's next?
Let's talk teamwork.
Yeah.
Can you explain your experience working in a team environment?
Okay, so here's where I talk about how well I communicate and how I can work with anyone, even when things get stressful. Yep. Highlight your communication skills,
Okay,
your ability to share knowledge and support your teammates.
got it. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Haha, for sure. Okay, let's get back to quality control. Can you explain your experience with quality control and assurance?
All right, so this is about my attention to detail and how I can spot problems and how committed I am to following procedures.
Exactly. And if you've used any specific quality control tools or techniques,
Okay,
definitely mention them.
got it. No cutting corners when it comes to quality.
Mm.
All right, what's the last one?
Last one's a curveball. How do you handle unexpected issues or problems that arise during the preparation process?
Ooh, okay. So they want to see me think on my feet and solve problems.
Exactly. Think of a time you faced a challenge at work.
Yeah.
How did you figure out what was going on?
Oh, yeah.
What did you do to fix it?
Gotcha. I'm ready for those curveballs, and I'm ready to use RoleCatcher's AI to help me nail these answers.
Haha, that's the spirit. RoleCatcher can give you feedback on your answers too. It can help you figure out what to improve and tailor your answers to the job.
Awesome. I'm feeling way more confident about these interviews now. Thanks for all the help.
You're welcome. It's all about preparation. Now, before we move on to the career stuff,
Okay,
which of these questions stood out to you the most?
that's a good question. We'll be right back to talk about career paths and how RoleCatcher can help you stand out from the crowd.
Welcome back. So you've aced those interview questions.
Hopefully.
Now let's see where a career as a prepared meat operator can take you.
Sounds good.
RoleCatcher's career guide has some great info on that. Let's start with the pros and cons.
Okay. What are we looking at?
Well, the pros are pretty attractive. High demand, potential for advancement, fast-paced environment, and you get to work with food.
That's true. Working with food is always a plus.
You're making products that people love,
Yeah,
and the demand isn't going away anytime soon, so good job security there.
that's always a good thing. But what about the cons?
Right, the guide mentions physical demands and potential hazards. It's not all fun and games.
Yeah, not all charcuterie boards and fancy deli counters.
You gotta be prepared for the physical side of it, lifting, bending, standing for long periods.
Yeah.
And of course, there are safety protocols to follow.
Right. So you need stamina and you got to be serious about safety. But what about moving up the career ladder?
The guide has a whole section on advancement paths. It's really interesting.
Okay, lay it on me.
Well, starting as a prepared meat operator can lead to a lot of different positions.
Like what?
You could become a supervisor, maybe specialize in something like sausage making or smoking,
Cool.
or even transition into quality control.
So there's room to grow. You're not just stuck in the same role forever.
Exactly. And certifications can help with that too.
Yeah, the guide mentions certifications.
Things like food safety and HACCP are really valuable.
So employers like to see that you're committed to quality and safety.
Absolutely. It shows them you're serious about your work.
Okay, so back to HACCP for a second. We talked about the interview questions,
Right?
but how does it actually help you move up in your career?
Well, having a deep understanding of HACCP principles shows employers that you really get food safety.
Okay.
It's not just about following the rules. You understand why they're important,
Right.
and you can prevent problems before they happen.
So it's not just about checking boxes. It's about understanding the bigger picture.
Exactly. And that makes you a much stronger candidate for higher paying jobs and leadership roles.
It's like leveling up your career.
Yeah.
You learn more, get certified, and unlock new opportunities.
Mm.
But even with those certifications, you got to keep learning, right?
Oh, for sure. The meat processing industry is always changing. New technology, new techniques, new regulations.
You can't just coast.
Yeah,
You got to stay ahead of the curve.
exactly. You can't just rest on your laurels, even if those laurels are made of bacon.
That's a good one. Okay, so we've got job security.
Mm.
We've got potential for advancement.
Mhm.
We've got the chance to become master sausage makers or whatever else.
Right.
But how does RoleCatcher fit into all of this?
Ah, great question. RoleCatcher can be a huge help throughout your whole career journey.
Okay, how? So,
Remember how we talked about tailoring your interview answers to the job description?
yeah.
Well, RoleCatcher's AI can analyze those descriptions and tell you exactly what skills to highlight.
Oh, wow.
Not just for the interview, but for your resume, your cover letter, your online profiles too.
So it's like a career makeover tool.
Exactly. And it can do even more than that. It can connect you with employers, give you salary info,
Nice.
and even help you find training and certifications to boost your skills.
It's like having a career coach in your pocket.
Mm.
But let's talk about some of the challenges facing the industry.
Okay.
What are some things that aspiring prepared meat operators should know about?
Well, one big trend is the focus on sustainability and ethical practices.
Oh, yeah, I've definitely noticed that. People want to know where their food comes from and how it's made.
Exactly. Consumers care about the environment,
Right.
and they want to know that their food is being produced responsibly.
So what does that mean for prepared meat operators?
Well, they need to understand these concerns and be ready to talk about how their work fits in. It's not just about technical skills anymore. It's about being aware of the bigger picture.
So it's about more than just the meat itself.
Right. It's about understanding the impact of the industry on the world. And it goes beyond sustainability, too.
Oh, how so?
Consumers are also concerned about animal welfare.
Right?
They want to know that the animals were treated well. So how can prepared meat operators show that they care about these things?
Good question.
Well, it starts with knowing where the meat comes from. Are the animals raised humanely?
Okay.
Are they using sustainable farming practices?
So it's about being transparent and knowledgeable about the whole process.
Exactly. And it's about choosing to work for companies that share those values.
So the role of a prepared meat operator is changing. It's becoming more complex and multifaceted.
That's a great way to put it. It's an exciting time to be in this field.
Sounds like it. With the right skills and a commitment to ethical practices, prepared meat operators can really make a difference.
They can help create a more sustainable and humane food system.
That's inspiring. We've covered so much today, from interview prep to career paths to the future of the industry. I'm feeling pretty pumped about a career in prepared meats.
That's great to hear. What should we explore next?
Let's talk about plant-based meat alternatives.
Oh, interesting. How do you think that trend will impact prepared meat operators?
Yeah, that's a good question. We'll be right back to discuss that.
Welcome back. So, are you ready to talk about plant-based meat alternatives?
Yeah, let's dig into that. Does this mean traditional meat processing is a dying industry?
Not really. It's more like an evolution. Everything you learn as a prepared meat operator is still useful even with these new trends.
Is it a threat? It's an opportunity.
Exactly. Think about it. The basics are all the same. Food safety, quality, control, preservation techniques.
Right. Those apply to all kinds of food.
Exactly. It doesn't matter if it's animal-based or plant-based.
I see. So prepared meat operators can use their skills for these new products too.
Yeah, they can adapt and work with all kinds of innovative ingredients.
That's cool. Maybe we'll even see some hybrid products.
Definitely.
Good.
The industry is always changing, and the people who are willing to learn new things will be the ones leading the way.
So you need to be versatile and work with all kinds of protein.
Yeah, a prepared meat operator who understands both traditional and plant-based processing is going to be in high demand.
That's awesome. It sounds like a really exciting time to be in this field,
Yeah.
but it must be a lot to take in for someone just starting out.
Yeah, it can be overwhelming. I'd say the most important thing is to never stop learning.
Okay.
Be curious, go to industry events, read about what's happening, connect with other professionals.
Makes sense. The more you know, the better prepared you'll be.
Right. And of course, RoleCatcher can help you along the way.
Oh yeah, how so?
Well, it can help you figure out what career paths you're interested in, find training and certification programs, and even connect with employers who are on the cutting edge.
It's like a one-stop shop for your career.
Exactly. But aside from all the technical stuff,
Yeah.
what other qualities are important for prepared meat operators?
Good question.
I'd say adaptability is huge. The industry is changing so fast, you got to be able to keep up.
You need to be flexible and willing to learn new things.
Exactly. And of course, a strong work ethic and a dedication to quality and safety are always going to be important.
Those are important no matter what industry you're in.
Absolutely. Those are timeless values.
So we've covered a lot today. Interview tips, career paths, plant-based alternatives, the future of the industry.
It's been a great conversation.
It really has.
Mm,
I hope our listeners feel ready to explore the world of prepared meats.
me too.
Yeah.
There are so many possibilities out there.
Absolutely. Whether you're interested in traditional methods or new innovations, there's a place for you.
And don't forget, RoleCatcher is here to help you every step of the way.
So get out there, find your passion, and never stop learning. The future of food processing is in your hands.
That's a great way to put it. Thanks for listening, everyone.